September 1668. The British government leased Bombay's 7 islands to the East India Company for £10 per annum. From then until India's independence in 1947, Mumbai saw many significant events of India's freedom struggle unfold. On the 75th anniversary of independence, let us proudly remember them. Across the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj terminus, a stone plaque says Indian Freedom Struggle Memorial. During the 1857 uprising, Mangal Gadiyo and Syed Hussain of the Bombay Police were publicly blown to death at the Esplanade Cross, now Azad Maidan, by a British Superintendent of Police, Charles Forget, for suspected conspiracy against the government. But their sacrifice was not in vain, because on the same ground, Mahatma Gandhi and other important leaders kept the flame of freedom alive with their speeches. Built in 1898, the Sardar Griha is near Mumbai's Mahatma Jyotiba Phule Mandai. Mahatma Gandhi, Sardar Patel and Shahu Maharaj were among its frequent visitors. Lokmanya Tilak once lived on the 4th floor of this building. He breathed his last in that room on 1st August 1920. His turban and some documents are preserved there. The Mumbai Samachar, started in 1822 by Fardunji Marzaban, was popular for its accurate news and analysis. The Bombay Darpan, an Anglo-Marathi fortnightly started by Balshastri Jambhekar in 1832, published socio-political thoughts. An article in the Bombay Native Observer titled "British Hands in Indian Pockets" drew attention to colonial politics. Lokmanya Tilak wrote inflammatory articles against the British government in Kesari. Firoz Shah Mehta started the Bombay Chronicles in 1910. All these newspapers fueled the freedom struggle. As a platform for Indians' social issues, the Indian National Congress was formed on December 28, 1885 at the Gokuldas Tejpal Sanskrit Pathshala near Gavalia Tank Ground, Mumbai. In 1896, an epidemic of plague broke out in Mumbai. To contain it, the British committed countless atrocities on the people. As a revenge, the Chafekar brothers gunned down Plague Commissioner W.C. Rand in Pune. They poured tar on Queen Victoria's statue near Cross Maidan in Mumbai. This square was later named Chafekar Bandhu Chowk. After his return from South Africa in 1915, Mahatma Gandhi settled in Mumbai. At his request, Mumbai's businessmen contributed to the Tilak Swaraj Fund to provide funds for the freedom struggle. In 1919, the British introduced the oppressive Rowlatt Act. All the traders of Mulji Jetha market opposed it, keeping the market closed for a day. The non-cooperation movement saw foreign clothes being burned in Parel's Elphinstone mill. Factories were established in Mumbai to manufacture many products like medicines, soaps, and tiles as part of the Swadesi movement. Mahatma Gandhi lived in Manibhavan Gamdevi from 1917 to 1934. This building witnessed many important events like Satyagraha, slogans of Khadi and Swadesi, non-cooperation movement and hunger strikes. It was here that Gandhiji started spinning yarn on a charkha. Between 1915 and 1924, Mahatma Gandhi held many gatherings in Mumbai's theatres like Opera House, Excelsior and New Empire. Plays, films based on the freedom movement were screened here. In 1921, the British government banned the film Bhakt Vidur, screened at Majestic, since it was based on the Rowlatt Act. In 1919, many people participated in the non-cooperation movement at Girgaon, Sandras Road, French Bridge, Madhav Bagh and Grant Road. In 1930, two marches similar to Dandi Yatra were also taken out in Mumbai to protest against the British tax on salt. On May 19, 1928, in all parties meeting, a committee was formed in Mumbai to draft the Constitution of India. In 1928, Veer Nariman strongly protested against the British government's corruption in the Back Bay Reclamation Project. Part of the Back Bay is named after him because of his courage. On August 8, 1942, the Quit India movement was launched with Gandhiji's speech at Gavalia Tank Ground, now August Kranti Maidan. Aruna Asaf Ali is remembered for hoisting the Indian national flag there. On Raghavji Marg off August Kranti Marg lived a great learned freedom fighter, Yusuf Meher Ali. The famous slogans Simon Go Back and Quit India were his gifts to the freedom struggle. He participated in many agitations and was imprisoned too. While in jail in 1942, his name was suggested for the post of Mayor of Mumbai. Comfortably winning the election, he became Mumbai's youngest mayor. When important leaders were arrested to suppress the Quit India movement, Mumbai's women continued the struggle. Madam Kama urged the people to create a national flag. Dadabhai Nauroji's granddaughters Perrine and Goshi Captain promoted Khadi throughout the country. Usha Mehta started a secret radio to help freedom fighters communicate even if they were underground. Various buildings were used for this purpose, including Ajat Villa near August Kranti Maidan. Apart from the Red Fort trials, the Sailors' Mutiny in Mumbai is considered as an important reason behind India's early independence. HMIS Talwar was the Navy's communication center on the Nathalal Parekh Marg. The ratings revolted against the government on 30th November 1945. They spread the news by radio to all the centers from Madras to Karachi, then marching to Azad Maidan. Port Trust employees, meal workers, students also joined them. Castle Barracks behind the Asiatic Society saw the biggest encounter between the British troops and the protesters. Cooperage Ground has a memorial of these sailors. During the freedom movement, important leaders addressed the citizens from the town hall steps. The Gateway of India was built in 1924 to commemorate the visit of the British Emperor and the Empress in 1911. On February 28, 1948, the last batch of British troops also left India through the same Gateway of India, marking the end of 282 years of oppressive British rule over Indians. These selected incidents highlight the prominent role of Mumbaikars in the Indian freedom struggle. Let us pay tribute to them and pass their legacy to the coming generations and strive for the prosperity of Mumbai and the country.